wanted to take a few moments to talk to you about how you can utilize the PlanStreet software to help support various industries. Today we are looking at the foster care industry as well as continuum of care, and how PlanStreet can best support those efforts in those agencies. So what we're looking at today, we want to go in and look at an example of a case to see exactly how this works. So as you can see on my screen here, we've got our list of cases here. These are clients that we are currently working with. And from each one of these, when it's time to go in and actually service the case, we simply click on the case name, and that's going to take us into the details of that case. So first one we're going to look at here is Andy Jones. So we can see here, again, this comes from your template. So these are the columns or services that have been laid out by this particular group. Child needs, family services, family reconciliation, and if we scroll over here, we can see that there's additional ones for kinship, foster care, and group or congregate care. Within each of these columns, you predefine activities that can be added. So for example, if it was time to add something to kinship, we simply come over here and click the plus button. These are the activities that we've kind of predetermined for this column, and we can simply click on one of those, and then we can see we've added it here to the column, and now it's ready to be assigned to people or notes given, whatever the situation might be. So I'm going to go in and take a look at one of these. For example, we'll go and look at clothing. I will point out a couple of things here. By looking at a case board, you can easily see activities that have been completed, activities that are in progress, and activities that have some sort of an issue, roadblock, what have you. For some reason, the activity has been flagged for further review. So we can go in and open up one of these activities. It gives us the ability in here, open up in read-only mode so we can look at it without having to worry about editing anything. If I have proper permissions, I can come in here and actually update and edit this card. So we can see that this has an estimated completion date of the 7th. Got a note posted here from one of my case notes. Looks like there's an issue trying to find the controller to get approved for this fund. We can see that we're trying to use money from a angel fund grant that we have, and we're trying to use about $450 of that to support this activity. Additionally, I've made a comment here about needing to know who the controller on duty is next week, otherwise this will be delayed. If I had a form that I needed to fill out, I could attach that here, or if I had documents that need to be attached, such as some sort of signed paperwork that was brought in with me, or a copy of an ID or a birth certificate or something like that, those can all be scanned and attached to the actual case file. So those things, when they get filled out, there is a one section for all of that. Any document that is uploaded into the system will all be stored in the Documents tab for this particular case. Any forms that are filled out can be filled out and will be stored here for you to go in and print. Forms are created in our system. You have the power to create your own forms, and those forms are the information in those forms is reportable if you need to extract that information. Forms can be filled out by individual workers, or you can also have them emailed to a parent or a guardian if it's in the case of a foster care, or if it is an adult with their own email address, you can send directly to them. They can fill it out as a link, and it comes back and is saved right here in their case file. Additionally, we have our client notes section here. This is an easy way to come in and we can go in and see all of the notes that have been posted for the case. So we can see here for under the activity assessment, here's a note for that. Under the clothing activity, we have this note and this comment. And then under the home assessment activity, we have another note there as well. So you can easily go through and see all the notes on the case without having to go and click on every individual square. So once we kind of get an idea of what's going on with the case, we've done some servicing, we've assigned some activities to people, and you're reviewing the case board, and you can see, where things are headed, what kind of status things are, who's working on individual activities, which is noted here by the initials. So these are the initials of the caseworkers that have been assigned. You can see you can have more than one assigned to any individual activity. And again, anytime you need to add an activity, you simply go to the plus, click on that and select whatever the next card is that you need. In looking at continuum of care, we're going to go and look, and we notice we talked about donors, so let's go and look at the financial side of it. So over here we have the ability in the system to collect donors. Now this doesn't necessarily have to be donors. This can essentially focus and function as a CRM tool. So for example, here I've got this Children First Group Care. That is the name of a particular group. And if I go in here and click on this, I can go in and see that I have individual contacts underneath that group. So for example, if this were a group care facility, then I could easily contact them if I needed things, if I was doing referrals, for example, and referring out, or if I just needed to contact a congregate care place to make sure that they had room maybe for a child that I needed to place. I can easily get in contact with those people just by clicking a few buttons. Additionally, we also showed you there that there were grants associated. So you can associate any pool of money that you want to keep track of and you want to see how it's being dispersed and things like that. You can do that through the system. And you can come in here, for example, that angel fund was what we had initially used. You can see here, this is how much originally came in. This is how much has been dispersed, how much is remaining. So it does keep track of that. You can click here and drill down further into this, and it's going to show you how many clients have currently taken advantage of that funding, what programs that funding was, what activities they went to, how much they were. And as it tracks down, once your remaining balance hits zero, then that fund is no longer available for you to select. So that way you don't have to worry about going over your original amounts. Most everything in the system is driven by forms, so we do provide form training, and we do create forms for you along with your intake. And we train you on how to create your own forms as well. So you can go in and create as many forms as you like, whether they be surveys, whether they be data collection tools, whatever it is that you need, consent forms, whatever is needed to support your agency or your particular service. You can create those. They show up here in the My Forms once you create them, and then anything that you create is available within each individual case for you to either fill out against that case or for you to email to someone as well. Additionally, we do have a group calendar. So this is something where you can go in and say you have an appointment with the actual family for one of your children that you're trying to place or that you're trying to reconcile back to the family. So you can keep an idea of when your appointments are. You can share these appointments with your actual clients, should you choose to take advantage of like a client portal where they can come in and see the schedule and see the appointments. It functions as most shared calendars, so you can share with colleagues so that you can see when each other is free or busy, or when people, what other people's appointments are. You can also schedule reminders. So for example, this one, you could have this go out to both yourself and the clients, so they'll get a reminder an hour before, whatever you decide is appropriate. And it helps keep everybody on track and keeps everything lined up, and it just really helps give you more time to be servicing the clients since you've automated a lot of your note taking, a lot of your form gathering, and then of course reporting on the back end of it through either like a Power BI tool where we can go in and you can pull out data from the forms, pull out data from the intake, pull out data from your activity cards, and all this is designed so that you can kind of keep track of all of your clients, have an idea of where everything is in terms of activity level, run metrics so you can see how the activities are being spread out across your staff, and really just help provide a more focus on the client. So I hope this helps, and I hope you can see the value in what we can bring to help support your organization. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to us at sales@planstreetinc.com or support@planstreetinc.com. Again, I thank you for your time. I hope you found this valuable, and I hope to hear from you soon. Thank you.